Hello, everyone. Thank you all for being here. Thank you. I know it's evening time and it's late, but I'm here. Okay. Thank you all for being here. There's a lot of good stuff going on. Not good stuff, but it's a lot of stuff to keep you busy. That's what I'm saying about good stuff. But something is good though. I'm not going to get up and dance. I'm not going to get up and dance. I'm not going to get up and dance. But it is kind of good. You know what I mean? Because, some people, I'm not talking about everybody now. Let me just say this here. I'm not talking about everybody. But some need to learn to sit down. Make sure my phone's not on where it would ring. Some people need to just sit down. Just sit down, take a seat. Because you don't need to be up running around doing nothing. But anyway, thank you all for being here. Let me get serious because y'all know I clown a lot. But let me get serious. Everything is alleged. This is my opinion only. And this video that I'm making is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Now, in this video that I'm making, that's my phone on. I'm sorry. I thought I had just turned it down. I'm sorry. That's my phone on with my live on. But anyway, let's go ahead and get the house rules out of the way so we can get started tonight because we got a lot to cover. Okay. Let me just say, I'm going to welcome everybody to the Pink House. Now, I'm only carrying this on two of my channels tonight, which is Pinkie the Housewife and Pink Global. Okay, so no matter what house you're in, thank you for being here. Pinkie the Housewife and Pink Global. And I go by Pinkie on all my channels. So, because that's my name. Why would I go by anything else? But welcome to the Pink House. And make sure you all hit that like button coming in. If you did not hit that button coming in, you better step back out and go hit that like button. You better hit it on your way in and do something. I don't care what you do, how you do it. Just hit that button. All right. And because that's the only way I'm going to get subscribers. When I say that's the only way I'm going to, not subscribers, stay in the algorithm. I need y'all to do that for me so I can stay in the algorithm. So let's go ahead and do that. And then the next thing I want y'all to do, and hit it on both of my channels. Don't be playing me. Y'all really be playing with me. Y'all be thinking I'm not catching on. You just hit it on one channel. No, I got three, but I didn't say you got to do all three tonight. I just said hit it on both of my channels. Okay? There's the other channel, Pink Global. Hit it on that one too. So if you're going to hit the like button, just go ahead and hit both of them. Okay? Now, but come back. Now, also, I want you to subscribe to my channel. Okay? Yes, I want you to subscribe to my channel. While you're at it, just go ahead and do that. We'll just make things easy. While you're hitting that like button, just go ahead and hit subscribe. Just do it all at the same time because we're going to make this easy. Because y'all wear me out with this stuff. I'm serious. Y'all, when I say y'all wear me out with this, you wear me out. Because I get tired of saying that. I get tired of asking. Now, I'm not going to beg, but I just get tired. Okay? But let me go ahead and thank everybody. Thank you guys for being here. I didn't know he comes on this time of time. Oh, but anyway, so we're going to, let me see who all we got here first, because y'all know who we're going to be talking about. Super Mayor. No more Super Mayor. She ain't no more Super Mayor. Well, some people I think she still calls herself that. But in my book, she's not a super mayor no more. I don't think she ever was in my book, but I just went along with it for a great storyline because that's what she wanted. She wanted us to call her super mayor. Okay, super mayor. And, okay. So I don't know. But anyway, let's go ahead and get with everybody that's here. Okay. I got my, ooh, Lord, super champ, superhero, Black Titanic, co-host, boots on the ground, reporter. Oh, what you guess? Just throw up my hands like I just don't care. Now, some of you all may remember this top. This is one of Melanie's tops, but because it's a small, it's still way too big on me. Melanie Cherie, Dr. Melanie Cherie Rogers. Yeah, this is her top, but I bought this. I think I can't remember when she had when Jay Bolin. I brought this out, but it's been a while. But let me just tell you now, it's way too big for me. But I got it on, so we ain't gonna worry about that because I need a extra small, and this was a small. So, but you know how it looks and everything. But anyway, let me see. Boots on the ground. I don't know what you're doing. Hi, Miss Lily. Thank you for coming in. And it is evening time. Thank you for coming in. BT. And Miss Lily is saying a good evening to everyone. Hi, Purple Queen. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Queen, for coming into the house. Okay. I see you, Black Titanic. Yes. Okay. Let me now, guys. If I drop the link down, Black BT, let me know when you're ready to come up so I can drop the link down. And when I drop it, it's only for BT right now to come up. Okay, guys? Only for BT. That's boots on the ground. I know BT do not stand. It's the same initials as boots on the ground. It stands for Black Titanic. For who all don't know, you're not getting no sound. You can't hear me. Can anybody else hear me? If y'all can't hear me and y'all got me up here talking, are you mute? No, I'm not mute. Oh, I'm sorry, Queen. Y'all can't hear me? Hey, where's my doggone husband? They've been doing things in this house today, the workers. Hold on. Because I don't know why are you muted? No, Queen, I'm not muted. You in the right house. Let me get somebody in this here. Let me call somebody. Because y'all know I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on, husband. Now I can. Wait now. If y'all can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. Eyes know you see my writing, but eyes can't see you. Blessing to you, and go ahead with your program. Okay. Hey, husband. Wait now. Okay, you can hear me, Purple Queen. Somebody else, put a 1 in the chat. No, I can see you, BT. I can see you. BT, let me just drop a link in before you run off. Let me just drop this link so you can see whether you can come up, because I don't want to have to go beat nobody down right now because I don't feel like it. Because I already been sent. Husband, can you step in here for a moment? Okay, thank you. See, Queen, you can hear me? BT, Everybody else say they can hear me now. Y'all just, oh Lord, BT. I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good. Thank you, Queen. Thank you, Purple Queen. The two queens in the house said they could hear me. Okay. No mute. I'm not muted, right? I'm not muted, right, guys? Okay. See, if y'all can hear me, just say yes. Put another one in the chat because somebody's playing with me. And if y'all know Queen Common Sense, y'all and other Purple Queen, y'all know I don't like nobody to play. Y'all know I don't like nobody out of my chat playing with me or somebody down in my bushes playing with me. And they's telling Black BT is saying she can't hear me. Then she's saying, okay, because I'm trying. Y'all calm down. Let me. I don't have. Okay, because y'all know me. I be trying to stay on the right path. I'm already about to want to send somebody a plane ticket so they can come down here so I can whoop their tail. I will do that. And she know who I'm talking about. So I'm not going to say nothing. I'm not going to say nothing. I know you're in the bushes. I heard what happened. I know you're in the bushes and I heard what happened. Don't mess with my chat. Don't mess with my chat. Just do like you always doing. I don't know you personally. Just sit down and be good and act like you don't know me. Okay? But you did say my name today. Don't say my name. Not to her no more. Don't say my name to her no more. Okay? You said my name. And you said something that wasn't true. But don't do that no more. Okay? I don't know you personally. But I know enough about you and the stuff you've been doing. So don't do that no more. I'm just talking to you. I'm talking to you. Okay, guys. Now I'm serious. I'm dead serious. I don't know you, but I will sing. Get you down here. You want to come down here because you're not going to do to me. Well, she and I already told you up, but I'm ready. I'm ready. I'll be ready. I will fly you down here. Well, I can just come near. If you want to get up on my live, if you want to come in the chat, you're welcome to come in the chat, but you're not going to disrespect me. And I will let you up on this live tonight. You come on up. Come on up, baby girl. But when you come up, you're going to show me some respect. Because we're not going to do this. Yes. What'd you say, Queen? People regularly the soup coolers a little too much. Yes. Black Titanic, I got you, baby girl. I got you. Girl, don't say my name no more because what you said was a lie. A lie. Okay? So let's keep it cool. Now just stay down in the bushes like you always do. And we're cool. I never said nothing to you. I don't know you, but it's almost like I know you. So just be cool. Black Titanic, when you get time, you can come on up. Okay. Now, sorry. What do these people? Oh, Lord. They be pushing. They be. Oh. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. We got to talk about Miss Mayor here. This is what we're getting ready to talk about right here. Tiffany Henyard, Super Mayor. We're going to talk about super mirror. And y'all, let me just say this one thing. You all know. Is that your dad? Is that your dad? No. Let me let him know I don't need him now. They can hear me. Wait. What? Okay. Y'all, I got a lot of stuff going on. I had people out there working this morning. I'm good. I'm just letting my husband know I'm good. You don't need to rush in and try to fix something for me. Okay. Guys, let me just get up here. Okay, now let's go ahead and talk about the super mirror. Y'all know last night it was some chilling stuff that's been going on, okay? She's notorious for being well known. When I say this woman is well known, I think she gets more. She's in the news, and people know her more than they know the Kardashians. Any well-known celebrity. Sure, we know her better than we know some of these rappers and everything, and some of these singers. Mary J. Blige, well, I know her more because every time I look up, she's in the news. She's creating drama wherever she goes, and she thinks it's the people doing it. We ain't doing nothing, girl. We ain't riding around with our entourage and all these big not limos, what you call them, big SUVs, big black Tahoes or whatever you want to call that Tahoe. You should have went and got a Denali instead. You want to drive around in style, you should have went just told them, give me all Denalis. All Denalis, black. That's what you should have did. You trying to. That's what happens when a person that never had no money, never had no power or no money, and come from nowhere, get in a position, and then they screw it up for the next person just looking just like us. But you ain't screwing it up for just the people that look like us. You're screwing it up for everybody, even the people that don't even look like you, because they always counting on you. I don't care what color they were. They always counting on you. They always trying to root for you. I never rooted for you, though. But I'm just going to be clear. I never rooted for you, Tiffany. But a lot of the townspeople did. And you still got some hanging in there. And you're still effing up. You're still effing up. You just running amok in that town. Just running amok. I'm not going to be jealous, because I wouldn't do that. If I'd be jealous and a thing, be jealous, girl, you have that hair be looking good though, but on somebody else's money. Them clothes be popping, but on somebody else's money. Those nails and everything be popping, and shoes too, but on somebody else's money, on the taxpayers' dollars. They pay you enough. You get paid enough from Dolton, from Thornton Township, and then you still can't pay for your own hair and your clothes and your nails and your shoes. You still can't pay your landlord. You got to have your picture everywhere. Girl, that's what gave you away right there. That's what gave you away. I'm going to tell you right there. That gave you away. And let me just go ahead and put this on for y'all. That's what gave her away. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. It gave you away. You acting like a black person that never had anything. Well, you're black though. But you know what I mean. I can say the same thing if you're a white person that never had anything. You acting a fool. You show everybody what you was doing. You was doing some criminal activity. We can't say that, but that's what I call it. Okay, and that's what I'm calling it. But okay, let's go ahead. I'm not gonna say a word. I'm just gonna play it for you, and then we're gonna talk about it. Girlfriend, you ain't getting away from me today. You ain't getting away from me today because I'm gonna talk about you. I just been too busy all week. All week I've been well. Today is Monday, ain't it? Oh shit! So it hasn't been all week. Well, I've been busy the last. I've been busy. I got other things to cover. I got the LA wildfires. I had snowstorms going all across the country that hit Texas, California, Florida never seen snow. From Texas, Georgia, everything just been going away, going loose. And they had an earthquake. When was that? Today, this morning. Somewhere, what is that? New Maine or somewhere, Massachusetts, somewhere, an earthquake. I can't keep, it's hard for me to keep up with the criminals. And then I still got the P. Diddy. So trying to keep up with all y'all criminals is kind of hard. Especially when I got things to do sometime. I got to run off and do something or take care of the baby and the dogs. I ain't got time sometime. Let me lay up in my bed one day. Okay, we're going to go ahead and play this, guys. Who, Queen? I don't know. These people. I'm trying not to talk about, because y'all know I'm on this good path. I'm trying not to talk about people. So I'm on this good path, okay? But this is coming from NBC, Chicago. Right out of Chicago, Tiffany. Knock, knock, knock. They knocking at your door. But anyway, the information is going to be down in my description box below my video for the credit for NBC Chicago, okay? Now, they got 8 hours on here that just happened. Probably more like 9 or 10 now. I had, like I told you, I couldn't go live today because I had workers here this morning. This shirt is so big. I had workers here this morning, so I couldn't go live. So that's why I'm here right now. All right? So we're going to go ahead. And I'm going to leave a caption on because some people can't hear as well as others. So this is a better way as well. All right? So I'm going to leave a caption on. And I'm going to try to do a full screen, but sometimes I notice when I do that, it spins. It's just, and I don't know. Don't ask me why it does that. But we're going to try first time. And how many days? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's going on 5 days. I'm going to try it 5 days. Okay?
The mayor of Dolton was back in a courtroom today.
Let me just hear. Can y'all hear that when he said Mayor Dolton? Did y'all hear that? I want to make sure my queens can hear it. Miss Lily, all of y'all can hear that. BT, hang out. Okay? BT, can hear it. If y'all can hear it, just let me know. So I play it. Okay? Okay, well, I'm going to, thank you, Queen. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and play it now.
Back in a courtroom today, a business owner took legal action after she says the mayor refused to sign paperwork she needed to open her business. Regina Walter was in the court for today's hearing.
This is the third time this year that this case has been before a Cook County judge. Today, the owners of the business are able to walk away with 2 of the 3 liquor licenses they applied for, while Mayor Henyard is facing a serious charge from the judge. Frustration and relief for a small business owner.
It's about time.
Tiffany Kamara left the Cook County courtroom with the liquor licenses she needs to open St. Patrick's, a family-owned restaurant and banquet hall on Lincoln Avenue in Dolton.
This should have been over, like he said, in November.
Kamara took legal action after she says she wasn't able to obtain licenses from Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who also serves as liquor commissioner. On Wednesday, Cook County Judge Cecilia Horan gave Henyard until 5 p.m. Thursday night to sign the licenses, but that deadline not met. In court Friday, Henyard signed them after the judge threatened her with contempt. After the licenses were signed, the judge found Henyard in indirect criminal contempt, but she wasn't taken into custody.
There are different kinds of contempt. What that means is that in the presence of the court, the mayor was disrespectful to the authority of the court because she was asked by the judge, will you sign the licenses, yes or no? And instead of answering the judge's question, she was, she didn't talk in circles. So because of that, the judge held her in indirect criminal contempt.
Max Solomon is Henyard's attorney.
It's very important for the people to understand that the documents that were signed today had another entity on there. And
So that was the holdup on your.
that was the holdup. That was the only thing.
Kamara says she's lost time and money. She says she wants Henyard to pay.
We want her to be fined. We want her to pay my client's attorney's fees, and we want damages.
We are wasting money every day. This building, nice building that people could have used, and jobs.
As for that criminal contempt charge, the judge is giving Mayor Henyard time to respond. This matter heads back to court next week. Reporting from Daily Center, I'm Regina Waldrop, NBC5 News.
Okay, thank you, Queen. I don't know what's going on. I mute myself. Somebody's playing with this. But anyway, thank you, K Cloud 43 for coming in. Thank you for coming to the Pink House. But I think Tiffany, now, she held that liquor license back out of jealousy. A woman jealous. Because there was no need. That would have put, like that woman, like the woman said, that's jobs for their community. She opened up the restaurant, that's jobs. She's getting her liquor license, that's jobs for the people. Another place, another business open in the community. But she's all for opening up jobs, open up businesses. But then she holds back a liquor license. So y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. I think it's jealousy. I just think it's purely jealous. When I saw that woman, I said, oh, Tiffany, you just jealous, huh? You're just holding that back out of jealousy and spite. No, women do that sometimes. They do. And she had to be made, ordered to do what she's supposed to do as a mayor. Girl, I ain't playing with Tiffany. Y'all can play with her. Y'all play with all you want. I'm not playing with Tiffany. Okay? Tiffany is, I'm not playing with her. Okay? Let me, I am going to drop my link down. I wish I had my glasses on. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, I can't see nothing without my glasses. Y'all just didn't know that, though. Yeah, I need my glasses on. But it's not just that. Tiffany got a lot of more stuff going on that don't forget, Lori Lightfoot. Okay? We got Lori Lightfoot, still on her. Lori Lightfoot said, you ain't getting rid of me, Tiffany. No. So we're going to watch a little more of that. We're going to watch and see what's going on. But before we get to that, let me just play this. I just happen to be being nosy. You know how sometimes you're just nosy. Hi, Greta Lee. Hey, y'all, I'm sick of Tiffany. She needs to go to jail. Well, she may be going pretty soon. Now, they didn't take her into custody or nothing. She just walked out of there mad. But let me ask you all, have y'all noticed something before I get to the next video? Let me just ask you all, have y'all noticed something? Before, when she was living a big lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? jetting up, flying to Las Vegas, staying up in the biggest, nicest hotels, going to here and going to there, and riding in all these big SUVs, right? With all her people behind her. She got more bodyguards and security than, let me name a big time superstar. Somebody that's not going to get mad if I say the name. Shoot, what one do I like right now? I don't like too many of them right now. Oh, I don't like too many of them right now. Shoot. Let me see. Well, just say a superstar, okay? Because I ain't too many of them I like right now because they all are. They all. Oh, there my thing go. Okay, I'm just going to say J-Lo, and I don't even care nothing about J-Lo, so it makes it all even. Okay, she got more security than her. Okay, yes, she do, and she ain't no celebrity. She just made herself one. Super Mayor. I want to make myself one. I'm going to call myself Super Pinkie. Okay, but anyway, Lori Lightfoot ain't gonna get off that neck of hers. You know, I try not to say that word. I try. Hi, Sharon. Thank you for being here as well. I bet Tiffany has mismanaged a lot of money. Oh, yeah. Ooh, that's what Lori Lightfoot told us. She brought out that's why I'm getting ready to bring up Lori Lightfoot. But before then, Taffy, I tried to call you today. Hello, Pinkie, in the chat. I'm feeling drained. That's why I was calling to check on you. So I've been hanging in the bushes today, watching your show. Okay. Well, just hang in the chat and watch my show. Because people in the bushes right now, some of them, one of them, if you're in the bushes, I may have you to go ahead and knock somebody out for me. Okay? Just give them a slap. You know? Don't say I did it, though, because then they'll come and get me. But anyway, yeah. Let me know who you see in the bushes, though. If somebody in the bushes, keep an eye out, Taffy, okay? So if somebody in the bushes that don't need to be in there, let me know. Okay? Greta Lee. Hey, Taffy. Making you being safe in Cali. Hope all is a lot better. Yeah, I just thought about something, Taffy. You know what? What I just thought about? Is it the smoke or anything? Is it the smoke or inhaling everything that's going on there? I know you told me you wear a mask and everything. And I was going to go live today on the California fires. Every time I attempted to, things just kept popping out. I had a lot of stuff going on. People working. So making noise. But I called you and I said to myself, if I can get you, but I'm glad you're laying down. You lay down because I know you and we know what's going on. Okay. You lay down. Okay. Get you some good water, lemon water, and lay down and just rest. Okay. You take care. Greta Lee gonna keep an eye on you in the chat. I don't want you to be watching out for nobody in the bushes. I changed my mind, Taffy. Don't watch out for nobody in the bushes. Okay. I got it. I got it. You just lay there and be good. You just be good. Taffy, okay. Taffy ain't gonna do nothing. She's just gonna lay there. Greta Lee, you and I got it. Okay. Anybody that don't need to be in the bushes, you let me know, Greta. Because Taffy needs to lay back. 13 and 17. Y'all better get these likes up. Okay, I'll be watching. Girl, I know the air quality is not good in California. It's not. Pinkie, are you working on that Detroit story, the 13-year-old girl? Yeah, Nyasa Harris. Yes, I am. I let me show the thumbnail. I may still have it sitting here. Remember? I don't think you was in my chat. See that thumbnail right there, Gretel? I don't do a thumbnail I don't make a thumbnail just to make one. When I make a thumbnail, that means I'm doing a story. I already got the thumbnail up. I even got another picture of her up without the thumbnail, and I got the information sources already collected that I'm going to use. Yeah, I got it, Greta. I got you. Okay, I couldn't go live. I had planned to do about 2 lives today and several a couple lives today in a 2 lives, one this morning on the California fires, and then I was going to do one on Tiffany today, right? But one had to be cut out. Then I did say I was going to work on tonight the your story. I did say that I was going to work on your story, but I had to work around other people, you know, because they're working, so I had to work around them. That means I couldn't work. I can work, but I couldn't go live or do any recording or even just a video. But I got you, Greta Lee. And when I do that, I'm gonna I may have you to come up. If you ever want to come up, then you're allowed to, because you're gonna make this story. You're the making of this story for me. Taffy, take it easy. We got this. We got it. Don't worry about this, Taffy. We got it. I see the thumbnail, y'all. I know you will go deep into the story of this 13-year-old missing in Detroit. Yeah, because I've been doing a lot of missing people. I did a lot of missing. A lot of times when people are missing, I always will put stories and see. I haven't done this one, but when people come up, they be missing and stuff. I do a lot of that. If you look at past videos, I do cover a lot of those. Okay, Taffy, that is good. Glad you got rain. Yeah. And now I'm worried about the mudslides, Taffy. The fires are out. That was burning here around us, and it's raining all night and a little today, and we're okay. The air is much better. Okay. But now we're worried about the mudslides. That's what I need to cover. Pinkie, I'm way too shy to come up. You are the making of all the stories because you do a great job. Thank you. Well, you don't have to come up. Just as long as you be in every, when I go live, you be there and asking me the questions, the tough questions, so we can get those answered. You may think of something I haven't thought of. Okay. Now let's go ahead on with this Tiffany stuff. You know how I told y'all sometimes you need to be nosy, and that's what I was doing today, being nosy. And so while I was being nosy, some people, when people got their own, I will be in every live because I want this story to get out. Yes, okay, I understand. Okay, so let's go ahead and I want y'all to see this girl's Instagram. We're going to get to her stories. Let me just show, because I get on, is that being a troll? Trolling people? I don't know. No, I don't think so. I think you have to, okay. There she is. She got her mayor picture. Look. She got her picture right there with a red dress on. Look at her. Yeah. Make sure. Okay. And have y'all ever noticed she's always doing her let me try to get it up. She's always doing this. Yeah. She wants to portray love, caring. I'm with you. I got you. I'm your mayor. You're my people. That's what she's trying to say without saying it. Trust me. What she thinks she's a movie star or something. That's what she's trying to say. And she did a thing talking about she is Dr. Martin Luther King. She's here because of Dr. Martin Luther King. Outside at something. And I do have that video. And I'm thinking of myself when I heard that. I can say that a lot better than you can. Because I'm closer to somebody that knew him for real. Went to school for real with him. When he went to college. So, girl, she's making a big scratch. Yeah, but I don't know. Okay. It was one of these videos. It was one of them I wanted to show you. I can't even remember which one. She got so many of them.
Here we go.
I'm not going to play the music and everything. She had to, while she was standing outside, I think it was just recently, not too long ago, she had on the same shirt and the same hairstyle. So in this event, this is in September though. This is September the 21st, 2024. So, she do think she's a superstar. Yeah, Tiffany thinks she do. She thinks she's a superstar. And if you ever notice, let me just tell you something. With Tiffany, she aligns herself with a lot of men. And I'm not saying nothing wrong with that. The reason why I'm saying that is because men, she's a little bitty thing. They want to protect her because she's so cute to them. She used, there's no harm in using your beauty to get what you want. But she's using her beauty to commit crimes and criminal activity, allegedly, by using the people's money and the people. You see what I'm saying? So I can see if you're out there doing your own thing, got your own cosmetic line, and you're making some lipsticks and some makeup and stuff, like somebody else we know, like Stormy Steele, in my opinion, yes, I said her name, and then taking the people's money, and they don't get the product, and then when they do get the product, then it's half baked, half cooked, tear up your skin. Then when you try to send it back, oh, I don't want it back. You can't send it back to me, but I'm not going to send you your money. See, now they're doing two different things. Hi, sweet tea. Thank you for coming over into the Pink House. Oh, you're in Pink Global. Thank you. Thank you. You're number 7 over in Pink Global. Okay, thank you. And see, now she's doing it through a company that she called her, Stormy still calling herself, owning, taking the people's money, giving them half-baked. When I say half-baked, the stuff ain't right. And then don't get their money back and then blame me. Was it UPS or somebody or everybody else why they stuff ain't got there and trying to say they stole it and all this stuff, allegedly. This one, Tiffany, is using her position that pays her a salary. She get paid from Dolton. She get paid from Thornton Township. She makes a lot of money. And then she using the people's money. They paying you to steal their money. They paying you to take services away from them. Just like when you didn't pay the license on the buses, the vans to take the people to doctor's appointments and pick them up and drop them off and take them where they need to go. The elderly. They ain't got time to come out there and hound you about why is a license insurance is not paid. Why you didn't pay the insurance, not the license, but the insurance. That's the same thing. I'm so used to thinking an insurance agent kind of frame. But why you haven't paid the insurance on the van? For the vans. You didn't pay the insurance for a lot of stuff. People couldn't even use some of the services. So, you know, y'all see what I'm saying? Tiffany. Oh, Lord. Sometime. But we're going to see what I want to dive into a lot of these different stories, okay? Let me get this one started. Just give me 1 second. I got to do this. I'm going to, I got to wait till the ad pass. Then I'm going to cast it over for y'all. Okay? But, yeah, homegirl, she's slick. When you got a slick one like that, you got to keep your eye on them. And I'm so, and she, sorry for all the people that believed in her, for all the people that was rooting for her. Okay, here is, let me go ahead and cast this over right quick because it is live. Let me just go ahead and get it cast over to you all so you can see it. This is Lori Lightfoot, guys. She was Tiffany's worst nightmare. Oh, Lord, I said to myself, ooh, Tiffany don't woke this woman snooping, but she ain't snooping. She's doing her job. Lori came in to do her job, girl, and you was the job. She just put your skeletons out in the open. Okay, here we are, guys. I'm gonna do this mouse. ABC.
The question is a question
7.
of whether the village will be able to get federal or
Eyewitness
state funding to bail
and
us
slide.
out of this mess.
So I'm going to mute myself so y'all can hear it, okay?
And the answer is, I think that's a matter
Put a
that
1
the
in the chat if you
trustees
can hear
are
this.
findings been given to the FBI and any agency concerned. Maybe we all turn and wave to our friends in the federal government who are surely watching this live stream. What I will say is we have been in contact with members of the U.S. Attorney's Office who are investigating this matter. I know that the FBI has also been in contact with various people who have information about the allegations that are here, what they intend to do and the timing of that. No one really knows except for them. And just sort through and see if there are any other questions. Someone asked, the $5 million grant, was it mismanagement or theft that we did not get it? As I mentioned before, there's a process by which a municipality that gets an appropriation has to claim it. There's no evidence that that process was followed. There's a question of when can vendors expect past due payments to be handled? I'm aware that the trustees are working diligently to try to work through the number of vendors who are owed goods and resources, but recognizing that village resources are tight. There's a question of how much money is owed to credit cards. I think we covered some of that in our report. The trustees have substantially cut down access to credit cards, so we expect credit card spending to go down. Most of the payments were made and the balances paid in total at the time that they were incurred. And there's a second question: is Tiffany going to be held responsible to repay the money spent on the ice rink? That's a very good question to which we don't have the answer. Okay, all right, we've got final 3 questions. All right, actually, final question. The others were request to get a copy of the PowerPoint deck. How many laws have been broken? Good question, but impossible to quantify. Thank you all. Thank you all for your time and attention.
Okay, we want to thank everybody for coming out, and on behalf of the Dolton residents, board of trustees, we want to ask everybody to give a round of applause to Mayor Lightfoot for her hard work. We were working diligently. This has been very critical.
There's a lot of people there.
To start to get a picture of what's going on, so we can begin working on that. So Mayor Lightfoot's influence has really been tremendous on us getting on the right path.
You know, one thing that I wanted to make sure that I mentioned, there were a significant number of folks that didn't cooperate in this investigation, either because they were scared or they chose not to. And there were some people who didn't cooperate initially, but then I'll say saw the light and did. And I want to call out one of those people was Keith Freeman, the administrator. He was definitely Team Henyard early on and wasn't particularly cooperative, but sometime late last summer, clearly had a change of heart, and it's been very instrumental in making sure that we got access to the financial records that were critical for us to be able to provide this information to you. So I just want you to keep that in mind, and thank Mr. Freeman for what he has done to work with the trustees and legislative council to make sure that there was more transparency, particularly around financial matters for the village. Thank you all, and good night.
I got to clap on that one myself, too. Oh, yes, you know, Queen. Yes, Queen, you know. I'm going to drop my link, too. We're going to show some more videos and everything. And anybody that want to speak on anything. And I'm going to see, can I find this from the beginning? So can I at least go back and get it from where we missed a lot of it? Okay. This is great that everybody was able to get in there. And I don't think everybody's just, let me just pause. I don't think everybody was just from Dolton or, you know, I think these are people from, because this has captured, this is everywhere. She made this not just her town or her state news. This is world news. She had made this into a world news. Everybody, I don't care what state you live in or where you living now. I bet you some people probably say, oh yeah, I hear about Tiffany Henyard all the time. Yeah. She is everywhere. She had made herself a local. She wants to be the local celebrity for the town. She wants to run the town like she's running her household. guys, I dropped the link if anybody want to come up, and I am going to play another video, but I did drop it if anybody want to come up and talk about it or whatever, because this is a free forum today, because we're going to talk about it. Oh, she is the richest Black history in politics. Chicago has deep, rich Black history. Yes, it does. Oh, I just muted that. I'm trying to see what else is coming back up. See here, it's still going, and they still got live at the bottom of it. So just in case if they come back while I bring up the other source, I want to make sure that we don't miss anything else if they come back live. Tiffany is got herself into some stuff. And I'm glad Lori, I did that story when she did the report and brought out all the information, how she got the whole town in debt and everything. Let me see, that was ABC News. Now, Fox 32, Chicago. Let me see, would they, oh yeah. Because I want to see a look, wait, I'm trying to find it where I can get it back from the beginning. You all know what I'm saying? But I'm going to keep my eye on the ABC 7 because I don't want to miss in case they come back live again. I really don't want to miss that. And I don't think y'all want to miss that either. Okay. Oh, Lord. Okay. Oh, Lord. This thing is acting up on me. That's why I'm... Okay. While I try to find it from the beginning, I'm going to let this live from ABC roll. But we're going to look at what Fox 32 is saying about, because they got Fox 32 Chicago is going to be in my description box. But Lightfoot to release findings into Tiffany Henyard spending in Dolton. Now, that's what we missed from the very beginning. And where I got to get that from the very beginning. I'm going to see, can I find it from the beginning for you all? Because I want to see it from the beginning too. Okay, here we go, guys. I'm muted.
And tonight, former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot would hold court in the village of Dolton. Since last spring, she has been looking into Mayor Tiffany Henyard's alleged misuse of taxpayer dollars. Casey Cronus is live with a look ahead. Casey.
Hi, Terrence. After months of waiting, the public, in about 90 minutes, will get a clearer picture of just how much financial trouble the village is really in. Last April, former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot was hired as an independent investigator amid questionable spending by Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard. In August, Lightfoot released a sneak peek of her findings, but made it clear there was much more work to do. It was then that community members were made aware of village credit card transactions amounting to tens of thousands of dollars on Amazon and Wayfair, and millions more owed to vendors. Tonight, Lightfoot's full report will be revealed, and she will share her own recommendations. The meeting is open to the public and starts at 6 o'clock. This comes less than 1 month until the mayoral election here in Dolton. Reporting live in Dolton, Casey Cronus, Fox 32, Chicago.
Okay. All right, guys. So they did release the full findings, And that's what I want to see. Pinkie, stay calm in 2025. Oh, I'm doing just fine in 2025. Yes. I just have to let people know. Oh, you see somebody down here talking for me? Stuff like this make it hard on the rest of the Black people in office. Okay. Hi, Kimberly. Thank you for being here. Yes, it does. Make it hard for everybody. You're right. Make it hard. But she didn't care about that. Because what she say? She is Dr. Martin Luther King. See? Don't get me clowning on this child. Because I try to make sure don't clown too much on her. Okay? But seems like most people don't understand. You have to care about what's going on. You have to understand what's going on in your community. And most people, they don't care. Oh, somebody else got it live too. Let me just see. Did we catch it from the beginning? Let me just check. Oh my God, if we ain't caught it from the beginning, I would be just thrilled. Oh, no, this is someone else live, reality check live. No, he's live with it too, but this is reality check TV Chicago. Got it live. But what I really want to do is, hi, Miss Tina. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. As we got the on in my where I live, and also I'd be very into what's going on in my community. Yes, I do, and the world too, as well. But I don't do it all on social media. When you do hear me say something, I may say it quietly, but yeah. Let me see let me unmute this and see. Everybody's still there.
But hey, outreach.
What I really want to do is just find the whole report from the very beginning.
I'm just down on
That's what I really want to do. Just get it from the very beginning. And that's what I'm getting ready to try to seek out time.
No, I didn't want more. And we're trying to run a responsible government.
Let me do this, guys. Let me take that one down. And what I'm going to do is go back to the one we had, which is ABC 7, Eyewitness News. So I'm going to go back to them, okay? Because let me show you why. Pull them back up. Okay. This is where we were in the very beginning, okay? And I was sitting waiting until, let me show you. This is what was ByEric. It's the one that got the story out today, which is Today, 27, 6:35 p.m. So that's just an hour ago. Okay. And we only caught the tail end of it. So I'm still waiting in case anything else come back from that. But here it says ABC Chicago is now screening 24/7. Click here to watch. But below that is Lori Lightfoot on Henyard, the report on Henyard. So let me just see all Tiffany Henyard's failed legal challenges to stay on ballot for Thornton Township supervisor. Oh, we made full statement from Lori Lightfoot on the investigation's findings. Oh, okay, we're gonna come back. Let's go back up, and we're gonna come back down. Okay, we're gonna come back down. I need to be eating. It's almost like I need to have something to eat. You know, when something is getting good, like you know, the criminal is getting ready to get caught. You know, oh, okay, you got him. It's almost like that. The bad criminal. Popcorn. I don't know what's going on. It's trying to go out on me. Let me hit the.
Last summer, Lori Lightfoot's preliminary report showed a village more than $3.5 million in the red after having a more than $5.5 million surplus around the time Tiffany Henyard became mayor. But tonight we're expecting much more detail.
Yes,
the former Chicago mayor, who's now in the private sector working at a global management consulting firm, was hired last year by Dolton trustees to investigate the village's finances and found soaring expenditures in 2023 on at least half a dozen village credit cards, including more than $43,000 in Amazon purchases in a single day and thousands of dollars spent at Wayfair and Best Buy. There were also travel expenses, including for 9 domestic trips taken by Mayor Henyard and other village officials. One of those trips to Las Vegas is the subject of a lawsuit alleging sexual assault and claims of retaliation. Residents ahead of tonight's meeting, during which Lightfoot will present her final summary, say they're eager to learn more.
It's very important for people to see the findings that Lori Lightfoot is going to give us, because it's a lot of people that are doubting that she's really corrupt. And with this investigation, they'll be able to see that she's not really the person that they think she is.
She's tried to justify for the money. And she said something about some ice on the ice rink. And and I'll go like, no, that can't be. Not $43,000 with the ice on an ice rink? I don't believe it.
Henyard is seeking re-election as Dolton's mayor, and this meeting comes about a month before the primary election. We left a message for Henyard's attorney seeking comment after Lightfoot's report is released.
Now we are getting our first look at surveillance video from a 2022.
No, I don't need to hear that. Nothing from a 2022 unalive and bank. Pow, pow. No, we don't need to hear that. Okay? But what did it say? Credit card, including more than $43,000 for Amazon? Amazon? What was she buying? A small house? What was she trying to buy? A car from Amazon? In a single day? That's a single day. What was she trying to buy? A motorcycle or something? A part of a house and say, I'm buying all the building materials through Amazon so y'all can add on to my house that she's renting. So you can build me a house or something. I don't know what oh my Lord, I tell you. On the village credit card. You don't give that woman a village credit card. You don't give her no credit card. The minute you see the first purchase, like Amazon something, oh Lord, somebody go get that credit card. Tell her you need to look at it because something is wrong with it. Oh, Miss Superman, that Village credit card that you got, I had to get you a new one. Can you give me that one back? And I'm gonna bring you the new one when they send it. Just so she'll think something is wrong with it. Then when you go, we got it. We got the credit card. Now y'all keep this credit card. Don't give it to her. When she asks, well, what do you do when she asks what's the new credit card? Oh, just play dumb. Just start laughing up in her face. Because a criminal know another, the criminal say, oh, I've been caught. Because they took the credit card from me. I've been caught. She ain't going to protest too much because she's going to think, wait now, is they doing it because they know I'm scamming off this card, or they really think something is wrong with it? Let her play and just keep playing down like, oh, time she asked about the credit card. Oh. She was saying, is that a yes or no? Did you say, oh? I don't know. This woman, she cracks me up because I've never seen she is a dumb criminal. Oh my God. Let's see what this is here, guys. This just cracks me up. This was on the 23rd. Oh, she cracks me up. I don't want to see nobody doing jumping up. No, what is that? Gummy bears? Soon as they're not doing the gummies, then I'll show it. Okay, guys. I think is this what we just got through looking at? I don't know. Because I'm cracking up on this woman. Y'all have to excuse me. I'm not going to talk about her like that.
Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard has failed in her legal effort to stay on the ballot in the April election. Henyard filed a lawsuit after State Senator Napoleon Harris was nominated instead of her during a Democratic Party caucus. Henyard claiming that her supporters were not allowed into that meeting, tainting the results. But a judge has now thrown out that case, which means Henyard can only run for re-election through a write-in campaign.
Yeah, I hadn't heard about that one. Yeah, a write-in campaign. She ain't writing in for nothing because she don't think she have to. She think all she have to do is just better eyes, eyelashes, and everything, and just play that little cutesy role. And the man going, okay, girl, you've been had. You ain't falling for that no more. You've been had. It's time for you to just give up. Dolton Supervisor Tiffany opposed board's appointment. I think I already got that video. Let me just see. I'll just pull it up myself. I got that video, guys. And I'm not going to stay here too long on Miss Tiffany because she just cracks me up. I don't know, do she crack y'all up? She do some dumb stuff, I guess. And when you see them doing dumb stuff, sometimes all you can do is just sit back and just laugh at them, or just look at them and just be wondering what the heck is going on. I'm serious. You sit back and say, what the person doing now? Okay. What you doing now, Tiffany? What do we have you into now? This is actually just 10 days ago I did this one here. And like I was telling people, y'all need to keep all eyes on this girl. Y'all keep letting her get away with things. Keep all your eyes on her. Don't close your eyes on her. Not even when you see her coming and you don't see her coming. And you need to keep eyes on this woman. I did this one 10 days ago. The Lansing Journal, keeping all eyes on Super Mayor. Somebody have to. Yeah. And the credit for the Lansing Journal, I did put it down here in my description box. So when I do my credits, I do put it down here. If anybody want to go back and look at it, you can. Let me shorten this. Let's see what because she do so much, it's hard for me to keep track. I'd be trying to, Tiffany, what you doing now? What money you installed today? Oh, I don't want to do it that way. Let me see. My aunt was the church secretary, and the pastor brought a Pepsi, and then I turned in the receipt, and my aunt counseled it. Oh my God. Now that's good. Now that's good. Now that's what I call, that's the kind of person that she needs on her. I'm serious. Let me just drop this down until it pass this timer thing. That's the kind of person she need on her. Like your aunt. Oh my God. Oh my God. And watch that heifer. Yeah. I'm serious. Y'all can't. I think what it is, people turn their backs and then keep their eyes on her. When she started, you got to remember, she didn't do this all in just a few months or just a year. No, this girl been doing this the whole time. You see what I'm saying? She's been doing this the entire time. It ain't just started. So if she was doing this all this time, and don't forget that Las Vegas trip, everybody's eyes should have been on her when she came back from that Las Vegas trip. And then, what's her name? What's her name? Dolphin. Starts with a D. I forget. Somebody may remember her name. When she came back and told Tiffany what happened, but before she told her what happened, someone called her and wanted to check on her to make sure she was all right. You're right, Miss Pinkie. She's been doing this for a long time. Nobody was checking with this super mayor, with mayor or supervisor, whatever you want to call her. Nobody was, when she keep doing things. Check. Don't check. Oh, she's the mayor. I may lose my job. If everybody play dumb, you ain't gonna lose your job. Somebody needs to stop that. She was betting on the fact that y'all didn't see how she acted in those meetings. I got one. I'm going to show you this short. This one I had to make out of a short for her. Let me do it. I'm going to have to show you this video. Do microphone in front of me. I'm going to have to show you that video. Okay? I'm serious. Y'all need, and she's still running amok. She's still running around. So y'all don't let this girl run around. Because although she ain't doing, I can't say nothing else. I don't know. I don't know, Kimberly. I can't say nothing else, Kimberly. I don't know. I'm trying. Let me see where I started at with this. Let me get past all that. Oh, Lord, I look bad that day. I was in pajamas that day. This had to be in the morning because I'm still in my pajamas. She must have been doing something outlandish for me to get up and be in pajamas to cover this crazy girl. See there?
Tear up your car insurance bill and try
I'm
this.
in my pajamas. So for me to cover her, she probably upset my nerve they're doing. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the first video. Okay. We have 2 videos to show. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, guys. The information would be down in my description box. Yeah, we can and credit. I'm going to go ahead and get the video started.
I am Melanie Youngsma, publisher of the Lansing Journal. The Lansing Journal is Lansing's only newspaper, and we work hard to keep our diverse community informed and connected. Increasingly, our community includes people who are not geographically local to Lansing, Illinois.
That's why and this everything down in my description box. Oh, wait now. I think this is them
person to
having
sign an affidavit.
This is Cole.
So, you know,
Cole
it
and,
is really weird
Carla
that they had an event before that was
and
invite
Melody,
only, and then only
they're having
they
a
started letting other
conversation
people
about
in like a half an hour before into it.
Tiffany. It's a situation. So let me see. Did I go into it, or it must be the next video? I'm just gonna see. It may be the next video. I know it's one of them. Go into what she. Yeah, it is. Oh, I must.
Well, there's
have
really a
hot.
lot of nastiness
That's
out
what
there,
we're talking about.
and that, you know.
Let me see, can I find that video? So this one must be. I'm trying to find what made them almost. This is like, to me, it's almost like a welfare check on Tiffany. Tiffany, you need a welfare check. Tiffany need a welfare check. Somebody need to go and do a check on her because Tiffany ain't doing right. She ain't doing right, guys. Let me just pull it back over this way so I can get it straight for you all. Because I really want to see this thing from the beginning. See, let me see, can I find it from the beginning? See, this is live, but I don't know, Lori Lightfoot report. Now, this is another live one here, but see, I'm trying to see whether I get it right from the beginning. Tiffany Henyard's 44 minutes ago. Well, let's see. I'm trying to get it as far as I can, because I'm not going to let Tiffany run amok. And we all need to see, because I'm going to tell y'all something. And I always have said this. Not everybody watch TV. Some people only watch their phones or from their tablet or something, right? So if it don't come where they can see it on their phone or something, they ain't going to see it. And with Tiffany, you need to see everything. You don't just need to see it from the phone. From the phone. From the TV if you ain't got it. You need to see it any way you can get it when it comes to Tiffany. Because Tiffany is going to play you like nobody's business. I'm sorry. I said I was going to be a good person and not talk about nobody and drag them. But I'm not dragging her. I'm just saying words right now. Okay? This is still with Fox 32 Chicago. This is supposed to give a breakdown. Let's see how much of a breakdown we're going to get. But this is supposed to be a breakdown of Dolton's current finances. Okay? Here we go. Oh, let me undo that first.
Through and largely provide an update to the financial information that was presented back in August.
Now, this is from tonight, guys. This is what they was talking about tonight. This is one of the early moments. This is part of we came in at the tail end of it, and we was actually just on the tail. We wasn't even nowhere near the body of it. We was hanging on the tail. Okay, so this is up further. I'm not sure how far up, but we making it there. We're gonna make it because I'm trying to get it where I can get the very beginning. But this is probably the body of it. Okay. So I need to hear this too.
We've been provided records that cover the first 6 months of the village's fiscal year 2025. As of October 2024, the village's general fund, which is the fund that's used to account for the majority of the village's operations, remains in a net deficit position. However, the deficit position has decreased or improved from the information that was presented in August. And as of October 2024, the general fund's net deficit position is currently $2.4 million. Average monthly expenditures of the village have also decreased. Through fiscal year 2024, the village was spending on average $2.5 million per month. During the first 6 months of fiscal year 2025, that number is down to $2.1 million per month on average. Following along with that,
I just interrupt. I think it's also important to note that when we provided an update back in August of last year, which laid out many of these numbers and showed the village in really dire financial condition, the trustees immediately took action to address particularly the spending side of the ledger, significantly reducing the number of credit card access, working with banks, restructuring some of the expenses. So that accounts in part for the reduction in expenses. And as Mando explained, there were other factors that contributed to this, but I wanted to note that the trustees heeded the concerns that we raised back in August and took specific action, many times in opposition from Mayor Henyard, to make sure that they were starting a process of putting the village back on better financial footing.
So following along with that, the decrease in expenditures through the first 6 months of fiscal year 2025, the village's expenditures have matched the revenues that came in during that time period. This is in comparison with the same time period in fiscal year 2024, where the gap in revenue to expenditures was almost $5 million. So the expenditure and revenue gap has improved. This gap decrease is for two primary reasons. First being, as of October fiscal 2025, revenues are approximately $3 million more than compared to the same time period in fiscal year 2024, which is largely due to the timing of when the property taxes were released to the village. In 2023 and 2024, property taxes weren't released until November or December, where in fiscal 2025, they were released much earlier. But additionally, expenditures have gone down, most notably general administration, police department expenditures, and public works. A couple of categories that we found significant decreases is in general administration, telephone, and miscellaneous expenditures, as well as in police department overtime and medical insurance. The village's cash balance has remained generally the same since the information that was presented in August. As you can see from the chart, as of May 2024, the general fund had an unrestricted cash deficit of almost $5.7 million. As of October 24, that amount is a deficit of around $5.5 million. And this deficit includes the amount of held checks that the mayor discussed previously. Those are reflected in these deficit balances. Regarding those held checks, as we presented in August, since March of 2023 and nearly every month since then, a portion of the checks that were approved and printed have had to be held. As of June 18th, 2024, this was 589 checks that totaled over $6 million, which were approved but had not yet been sent to vendors. Since the August presentation, we've requested but had not been provided an updated listing of the current status of the village's held checks. However, we've been told, though not able to verify, that the discuss the village's use of credit cards. As we discussed in the August presentation, we're aware of 6 different credit cards that have been in use by the village at various points in time from January 2021 through at least June of 2024. Since the August presentation, we did request updated credit card statements that would cover July 2024 through December 2024, but we did not receive any updated credit card records. As you can see from the chart, the use of credit cards steadily increased from calendar year 2021 through 2023. In 2023, the village spent over $775,000 on credit cards. As the mayor earlier discussed, oftentimes credit card expenditures have no accompanying receipts. And the credit card statements alone provide limited information about the credit card purchases. Given this overall lack of available documentation, it is not possible for us to ascertain important information about the village's credit card use, such as who made the purchase, was it an approved purchase, and what was the government purpose. This type of additional information is necessary to perform a complete investigation of the credit card use and to draw any conclusion about any individual purchase. That being said, through our investigation, we did identify certain categories of expenses that stand out, which the village example, from 2021 through June of 2024, in travel-related costs, things such as airfare, excess baggage fees, hotels, meals, rental cars. There are over $51,000 spent at local area restaurants, as well as expenditures at retailers such as Dick's Sporting Goods, Best Buy, Wayfair, Walgreens, Apple, and Walmart. Now, some of these expenditures, but not all, are reflected on the electronic warrant lists that we were provided and reviewed. However, the level of detail in the description of what the purchase is for varies by purchase. Some purchases have very limited information, and the description is simply the name of the merchant, or a more vague description such as meals or donuts. Others provide more information, such as training accommodations or code enforcement lunch. One area in our investigation where we were able to obtain detailed purchase information relates to Amazon purchases. The vast majority of purchases made by the village on Amazon were paid for with village credit cards. From January 2021 through June of 2024, the village spent approximately $218,000 on purchase from Amazon using village credit cards, the largest spending of which occurred in 2023. Now, the vast majority of the purchases on Amazon do appear to be for routine items such as office supplies, office furniture, and supplies for the police department. And the Amazon order details show that these orders were delivered either to Village Hall or to the police department. Additionally, many of the largest purchases on Amazon, 3 of which we identified in the August presentation, were related to materials or supplies for the skating rink. This includes $5,099 for artificial ice tiles, $33,000 for artificial ice tiles, $5,600 artificial ice tiles, $4,700 artificial ice tiles, and then $3,700 for ice skates.
If you're struggling to lose weight, you can bet the reason is it.
Okay, guys. Okay. I'm letting this little thing pass. Let me just say this. Okay, that was the end of that video. And I got it. I think I found the whole video from the beginning. The artificial ice towels from Amazon and the skates. My understanding, I'm going to be bringing this up. My understanding is that people couldn't use the ice skating ring unless the ice skating ring, maybe I'm wrong, okay? Because I don't live there, but maybe I'm wrong. But I don't think I am, but maybe I'm wrong, and I could be wrong. And if I'm not, somebody check me, okay? Checkmate, do that, okay? But anyway, that ice skating ring was only allowed to be used for an event that she was having at the event for the community. Maybe I'm saying it wrong, or maybe I'm wrong, but that's my understanding. And just say, you know how we were as kids, or, you know, go to the ice skating ring, or go to the roller skating ring or whatever, and you can go anytime you want because it's always open, right? You got your skates on. If you don't have skates, you rent the skates when you're there. You put them on when you pay to get in. They ask you what size skates you wear. You put them on your feet and you just go, right? Somebody may say, meet me there at 6. Somebody say, I'll just come tomorrow at 6. But my understanding is the ice skating ring was not open unless it's an event that she was having for the community. I don't know now. That's just what I heard. And that's what I believe that happened. Now, if y'all tell me, I'm just going. I think Tiffany was going on some slippery slopes and things just got out of hand. And when you get a person that never had a credit card like that, with a limit that you can keep spending, and almost there's no bottom to it, she's gonna go crazy. And I'm trying. I tried to do my due diligence, but I'm not talking about people no more. That's why y'all see a different come of Pinkie right now. But this girl, she makes you want to talk about her. Not that I want to talk about her, but she's great for TV. I don't know what great for TV, but she did a lot. She did a lot, and she did too much. And she was overstepping her position. She was overstepping everything. She was stepping over on other people's backs to get what she wants. And that, people, what got me a little pissed off about her. I don't want to see nobody abusing other people to get what they want to get. Get there by hard work. Get there by going to school. Get there by studying, working. Don't use other people to get to where you need to get to. And then pretend like, oh, I did nothing wrong. Girl, she needs to sit down somewhere. She needs to sit down and be quiet. Just sit down and be quiet somewhere. That's all I got to say. After this one, guys, we're going to see this one here, and then that'll be it for the videos on as much information that I could get. But that don't mean we're gone. But I'm thinking, because this is live, an hour and 15. Not that I'm going to say here an hour and 15, because we ain't already seen all that. Okay, half of it. But I want us to make sure, try to catch it from the beginning.
Here to provide to the members of the Board of Trustees and the public our final report regarding our investigation of the allegations of financial mismanagement and other matters concerning the village of Dolton. A couple of quick housekeeping matters. You should be circulating index cards if you want to ask us questions. We're going to go through the entire presentations first. I'm not promising you that we're going to be able to answer everyone's question, but we'll try to get you as many as possible. We will set up, for those of
This
you
was
who
what we
answer,
was
we will
waiting
set
on.
up a microsite
I need
and
to go
have
get me
answers
something to eat.
to
Yeah.
the different questions
Stop
there.
doing it. Something.
Also, that's circulating is a document that if you want a hard copy or electronic copy,
See, I don't miss nothing.
PowerPoint
Call my husband.
presentation,
Get me something
give
to
us
eat.
your name and your email address, and we'll make sure that you get it within the next 24 hours.
I want one.
All right. Well, make sure you fill out the paperwork.
Everybody, but I want one.
There's signing, there's sheets going around that you should be able to put your name and your email address, and then we'll be able to provide you with a copy of the deck. The deck is long, and given the number of people that were here, we felt like it made more sense to provide electronic copies and try to anticipate how many people would want a copy.
Mute myself. That's the door is opening. But this is at the beginning. This
So let me
is what
start,
we've been
by
looking
saying
for.
that, as you know, we began this investigation in earnest back in the spring of 2024 after the trustees overrode a veto of the resolution of hiring us through the Legislative Council. We were tasked with looking into irregularities, allegations of irregularities regarding financial mismanagement by Mayor Tiffany Henyard and others in her administration. And I want everyone to be clear, we are not conducting a criminal investigation. This is an investigation that depended upon witness testimony, that depended upon getting access to certain documents. Next slide. And to be clear, we did not receive total cooperation in this investigation. In fact, we encountered many challenges getting access to relevant documents and information from the very beginning of the engagement. We do not have subpoena power as an independent investigative team, which would have allowed us to obtain materials and cooperation from individuals. The village's personnel policies do not require cooperation with internal investigation. That proved to be a challenge in this circumstance. And the lack of cooperation by some individuals led to delays, limited our abilities in the scope of the work, that ultimately limited the information that we were able to address in the course of this investigation. Despite these obstacles, we made progress in providing information to the trustees and to the public on the true financial condition of the village of Dolton, along with some other issues. And as a result of that, we're able to make some concrete recommendations, many of which the trustees have already adopted, on how to right the ship, to make sure that there are financial guardrails in the operation of city government, and to provide some other supports that would all be in favor of transparency and good governance. For those of you who don't know, we thought it would be important to give just a little bit of background about the village of Dolton. The village was incorporated in 1892. And according to the most recent census data, the population is approximately 21,426. The median household income is 58,706, and the village is approximately 91% African American. The village has a trustee form of government, which matters under the organization of the Illinois Municipal Code, and we'll talk about that briefly in a moment. The key city employees for the village, aside from the trustees, are the mayor, the village administrator, the director of administration, director of finance, and a staff accountant. Now, I'm not going to read everything on this slide. This is excerpts from the Illinois Municipal Code, but suffice it to say that the code really is a set of specific mandates on how a trustee form of government and other forms of government are supposed to conduct themselves. It provides things like there should be an annual appropriation, and ideally that is done in the first quarter of the village's fiscal year. No official can incur debt over and above what the budget is unless there is a 2/3 majority vote by the board trustees. There can't be entering into contracts without a corresponding appropriation. The municipality must have an audit of its financial records annually. As you know, this became an issue, and we'll talk more about that as well. And that audit and other financial information must be filed annually with the comptroller's office, or as has happened now to Dolton, the comptroller has the ability to force an audit of the financial records. Now, on that point, if you go to the comptroller's office and you look under on their website under the municipal division, there are literally hundreds of municipalities across the state of Illinois who have not filed the necessary financial documents, whether it's the financial report, whether it's the audit, and some of these delinquencies go back years. But soon after we had our report in early August of last year, the comptroller's office suddenly paid attention to the village of Dolton and took notice, while other municipalities across the state have been delinquent in their responsibilities for years. One might ask, why is that so? Next slide. One of the challenges, and we recommend, this is one of our recommendations, is the village doesn't have a codified municipal code. And what this means is the resolutions, the ordinances that are the backbone of governance for the village are not assembled in one location, filed with the state, so that all of you can look up what's the code say on this, that, or the other thing. This became something that we learned early on, which was a little bit of a surprise, but became another challenge to overcome in making sure that we had a true picture of what the rules and laws were that had been passed that govern the village of Dolton. As a result, these are the absence of archived ordinances and resolutions not being readily public led to gaps in our understanding about the laws, making governance unnecessarily difficult. Next slide. One thing, given what you've heard and seen over the course of the last couple of years, the village actually does have a purchasing policy and manual. And it's very straightforward, as you might expect. The challenge has been, it hasn't been followed, and we'll get into details about that. But let me give you a little specifics. The policy essentially provides directions for the acquisition of all goods and services. And when used with good judgment and common sense, as it reads, the quote, the policies and procedures conveyed within will allow the village to obtain required supplies and services efficiently and economically. The policy also provides, in general, all supplies, materials, equipment, contractual and professional services required for operational efficiency will have been included in the annual budget. Next slide. There is in this purchasing policy set controls on who can authorize what at what dollar levels. As you can see from this slide, and department heads can authorize spending up to $1,000. Between $1,001 and $5,000, the village administrator can approve. And over $5,000, any expenses for goods or services over that amount must be brought to the village board for approval as set forth in the purchasing policy. The finance department is supposed to have a position called the staff accountant. That person is responsible for centralizing and overseeing the purchase of goods and services for the village, and to determine whether or not an item proposed to be spent, that there are adequate funds and proper purchasing procedures have been followed before any monies of the village are incurred. That person is supposed to be reviewing and initiating all purchase orders, payment requests after they are submitted to the finance department for payment. They're supposed to be centralized purchasing. That makes sense because in best practices, you want to make sure that there's not what we call rogue spending going on, and that the village is getting the benefit of its bargain by maximizing its buying power. The purchasing policy specifically says that those items are supposed to be uniformly purchased by the purchasing agent. And the purchasing policy also requires the use of purchase orders. Those are essentially requisitions for goods and services, and it's detailed there. Similarly, it has the same authorization requirements as other matters. 1,000 by department heads, 5,000 by, up to 5,000 by the village administrator. Anything over 5,000 has to come before the board for approval. Now, just to give you a little bit of context, because we're going to be using this term as we go forward in this presentation, there's something called a warrant that is used that also dictates how municipal funds are spent. The warrant is typically created based upon invoices that are created by a vendor and submitted to the department head for approval. As we told you in August, there is no electronic process for the submission of invoices from vendors. Paper copies, typically sent either in by hand or by email, are sent to department heads for approval. They must then list them in an electronic payment system called My Viewpoint, and then that generates the items that appear on the warrant list. Based upon our investigation, there are essentially two kinds of warrant lists. There's an accounts payable warrant list, which includes most of the village's expenses. And then there's a second warrant list that's called the electronic list, which includes payments made by wire, ACH, credit card, or any other electronic or online method. Next slide. The village is after an expense is approved by the board, Janice Johnson, who's the Director of Administrative Services, is supposed to prepare a check for signature and payment. However, if Ms. Johnson is directed by Mayor Henyard or someone else, or there are insufficient funds to pay the item on the warrant list, then those checks are held. And apart from payroll, the accounts payable warrant list reflects invoices that have been submitted for approval and payment but not yet paid. And we understand from the John Kasparic accounting firm, which is essentially the outside firm for the village of Dolton, that there are many items that appear on the electronic warrant list that have already been approved before they are presented to the board. Now, next slide. As it relates to credit card expenditures, we also understand from John Kasparic personnel that credit card balance is paid as a matter of course, meaning that as the bill becomes due, it's paid before it reaches the board for approval. In general, credit card expenses are only added to the warrant list when there's a receipt submitted. What we found is that many credit card expenditures never make it onto the warrant list for approval, in part because there is not a system for ensuring that there are receipts for the various credit card purchases. And what this means, unfortunately, is that the Board of Trustees in many instances was not able to even track or see credit card purchases that were being done over the last few years. Let's go on. Let's give a little background on Mayor Tiffany Henyard. As many of you know, she's a lifelong resident of the village. She served as a village trustee from 2013 to 2021. Her bio cites that she graduated from Robert Morris College, although we were unable to verify that. And she became mayor as of May 2021.
Laugh on that one.
There were two elections. There was an election at the end of February that went to a runoff, and then there was a final election later that spring. At the time of that second election, according to records provided to us by the County Clerk's Board of Elections, only 9.5% of registered voters in Dolton came out to vote.
That's why she where she at. That's why she there.
To set the framework further, we wanted to make sure you understood who were the people in charge of making various decisions under Mayor Henyard's administration. Aside from Mayor Henyard was the village administrator. You may recall that that was initially Dorothy Brown. And then in late 2021, Keith Freeman began his duties as the village administrator. The director of finance, you would think this is a very key position. Unfortunately, what we found over the course of our investigation is there are many periods of time during Mayor Henyard's tenure where that position was vacant. At one point, Tanjanique Miller fulfilled the role sometime in 2022 on a full-time basis, and then she went to a part-time basis by December of 2023 and worked only remotely. The position has been vacant again since early 2024. As I mentioned before, the Director of Administration is Janice Johnson, and you remember from my discussion about the purchasing policy, where there's supposed to be somebody who's a staff accountant that is responsible for monitoring and overseeing the purchases of goods and services on behalf of the village. There's no such position that exists in the village.
That's what we've been talking about, Kimberly. That's what was overlooked by everybody. It shouldn't. There was 3 levels to this. There was levels to this thing. She would have never gotten that far if someone had been keeping all eyes on her. Remember, first dollar amount. Then there was a second dollar amount that you can go past. Then a third. What? See there? Nobody was looking. When the first time it happened, okay, a little error. Second time, because we hadn't talked about it. Third time, oh no, you got no.
Village of Dolton.
Wow.
As a result of the small staff managing the city finances, the John Kasparek firm has essentially become the in-house, although they're outside, but the in-house financial department for remains true to this day. Kasparek firm has a junior staffer who is embedded in the village, and that person is here multiple times a week. There's a senior person that oversees that junior staffer, and the John Kasparek firm is involved in virtually every aspect of the finances of the village. Reconciling bank records, assisting in the preparation of payroll, creating those monthly warrant lists, village accounting records, as well as a variety of other expenses. And as you might imagine, ladies and gentlemen, that kind of work, day in and day out, month after month, is not cheap. So the village is paying an extraordinary amount for outside services because it doesn't have the staff internally to do that. And in the absence of the director of finance, without the board of trustees being directly involved, there is very little oversight over the work that's being done on your behalf. Now, I want to also now shift gears and talk about some key events that have led to some of the financial crises that the village is experiencing. And what we found in our investigation, and that's based on a review of contemporaneous documents and witness interviews, that beginning at least as early as late 2021, there was a concerted, systematic effort on behalf of Mayor Henyard and others in her administration to hide the true financial condition of the village of Dolton from the trustees and from members of the public.
That's when she
To
knew
step back, let's
was
talk
doing
about
wrong.
what the state of play was before Mayor Henyard became mayor.
He was trying to hide it.
What we found is that prior to that time, the Kasparek firm would provide 3 different and important categories of information to the entire board of trustees, key city personnel, to make sure that folks were up to speed on a real-time basis as to what the circumstances were, both of expenses and revenue, and whether or not the expenses and revenue were on track with budget projections. They created a weekly report reflecting what work they did on behalf of the village, monthly financial statements with the detailed notes memorized in an accompanying memo, warrant list, which detailed the expenditures to be presented at board meetings. And for a time, Kasperiak firm also prepared and shared a payroll list. Now, initially in 2021, at the beginning of Mayor Henyard's term, Chris Marabali of the Kasperiak firm caused these documents to be sent to a wide array of people on an email. Again, the trustees, key city employees, and Mayor Henyard herself. But this practice began to change in the fall of 2021. What we see in the fall of 2021 is the start of the effort to make sure that the trustees did not have full access to information about the true financial condition of the village's finances. And I want to walk you through step-by-step evidence that we were able to review that was memorialized contemporaneously, primarily in emails. In September 2020, September 28, 2021, in an email to John Kasperiak, Chris Marabali, remember this guy who's responsible for supervising the work here at Dolton, noted, quote, "The mayor has requested that the warrant list for both electronic and regular billing be sent to her first for review and approval prior to it being released to the board." On October 4th, 2021, Trustee House emailed Marabali seeking missing payroll reports that he had not received since the August 27, 2021 payroll. That same day, Marabali forwarded that email from Trustee House to Mayor Henyard and sought advice on how to respond. On October 21st, 2021, Chris Marabali reported to John Kasperiak via email that Mayor Henyard was very upset with him because he disclosed in a board meeting that she had directed him not to send trustees payroll records. There's a board meeting that precedes this October 21st date, where you can see on the YouTube video that she's asking him, "Did I tell you not to send this information?" He answered in the affirmative, and that was the source of her anger with him. He was later called into a meeting with the mayor in the presence of Janice Johnson and Dorothy Brown. And the mayor, in effect, told him that he should never contradict her in public and that he should shade the truth. By November of 2021, a split between Henyard and certain trustees was in full bloom and played out in the trustees' shrinking access to village financial information. And on January 22nd, 2022, Marabali again transmitted the December financials and a corresponding memo to the full list, including the trustees. But by February 9th, Trustee Steve sent an email to Marabali and others objecting to not having received payroll reports for approval and saying that he would not provide his consent for approval by the board if he did not receive those payroll records ahead of time. Trustee House concurred in that same email chain. On February 24th, and this is an important date, Marabali transmitted the January financials and the accompanying Miller only to Tanjani Miller. At that point, the trustees were cut out. On March 9th, 2022, Marabali sent his weekly report to the mayor, trustees, and others. The next day, Freeman admonished Marabali and said, quote, "Chris, please stop sending these emails to everyone. It is a direct violation of the Open Meetings Act. Send this information to Ms. Miller and Janice," meaning Janice Johnson. end quote. I can tell you that the mere transmittal of information where there's no actual action being taken is not a violation of the Open Meetings Act. So in sum, by March 2022, the trustees were effectively cut off from receiving regular financial reports generated by the ByEric firm, which would have that there was a significant increase in expenses, as we reported previously, while at the same time, there was not revenue to match those expenses. Now I want to shift gear and talk to you a little bit about FOIA. Now, this is not a FOIA class. I'm not going to go in chapter and verse, but the bottom line, as many of you know, is that under Illinois law, municipalities are required to keep and produce the records of governance to anybody who asks for them, with a narrow set of exceptions. And that means that the municipality has to set up a process by which people who want certain kinds of information can get that information, and that they have a certain timeline in which they have to provide that information. They can ask for an extension of time, but what they cannot do is simply ignore requests coming in through the Freedom of Information Act. Let's go to the next slide. Now, from May 21st, from May of 2021 through September of 2023, based on our review of relevant FOIA records and witness testimony, there were a significant number of FOIA requests that came into the village. Most of these requests were ordinary type. People asking about particular addresses within the village, people seeking other information. But what we started to see in 21, and then it increased steadily over time, is people asking very specific information about the governance of the village, and in particular, asking information about how money was being spent. At the beginning of Mayor Henyard's tenure, Clerk Allison Key was responsible for FOIA requests. According to Clerk Key, when a FOIA request would come in, she and her team would review it, then they would send it to the relevant department. There were FOIA liaisons in each department, and it was their responsibility to look for responsive documents and then provide them to Clerk Key so then she could respond to the FOIA. The increased number of FOIAs over time posed a challenge given the limited resources that were devoted to FOIA. So what we saw is a very small staff, very few resources, and an expanding number of FOIAs that came in. There were not sufficient resources to be able to meet that rising interest in the governance of the village of Dolton. Now, there were many allegations that we received that Mayor Henyard ordered village personnel to simply stop responding to FOIA. We were not able to verify those allegations, in part because village employees who reported directly to Mayor Henyard did not cooperate in our investigation. However, in April of 2023, trustees passed an ordinance intended to get the FOIA process back on track. And that ordinance read in part, quote, "Whereas the Board of Trustees finds that the village has experienced an insurmountable backlog of FOIA requests due to failures of village staff to respond to requests for information from the FOIA officer at the instruction of the mayor and her village administrator." The trustees obviously believe that that's precisely what had happened, which is that the mayor had instructed people within the departments not to respond to FOIAs. Now, despite the passage of this ordinance, the FOIA process didn't improve. And in fact, it continued to break down the non-cooperation of village staff, and many of whom simply, according to Clerk Key, simply stopped responding to her when she would send them FOIAs. And as a result, you know what's happened. Some of you, I'm sure, experienced it directly when you filed FOIAs. There were appeals made to the Attorney General, and in some instances, people simply filed suit. Now, one key milestone that I want to bring to your attention is when Clerk Key was stripped of her jurisdiction over FOIA. As you can see from the screen, she received an email from Keith Freeman on September 7th, 2023. And in this email, I'll read the body of it. Dear Clerk Key, I am writing to inform you that you are hereby removed from your duty as a FOIA officer effective immediately. Your inability to process FOIA requests in a complete and timely manner has left us no choice but to restructure our process going forward. The village has redirected FOIA officer duties to another party, and as such, your services are no longer needed. I've advised all department heads of the change. Now, I want to be clear that Clerk Key denies the various allegations in Freeman's email. But I want to lift up a couple things that I think are notable about this email in particular. When you see the language, the village has redirected FOIA officer duties to another party. Note in this email, he doesn't say who that other party is. And what we know from our investigation is that we were never able to determine who the person was that's actually handling FOIA and whether or not that person received the proper training. FOIA is not easy. There's a lot of nuances that are involved in the statute to make sure that there's proper compliance. We have no idea to this day whether or not the person or person who was handling FOIA actually received proper training. There was no effort to take over the files of pen.
So let me just say this. First of all, she did everything to attempt by having the other people not to keep, lack of communication, do not communicate, this and that. She was doing everything she can to hide her dirty deeds of what she was doing. And other people was complying with that. And then I cannot believe the fact that she is relieved of her duty by email, but they got somebody else to do it. But you don't know the person's name. And still today, there's no name of the person. So that means that job had to be given to somebody. Somebody knows something. It just didn't just disappear. So she's been doing this, and now she can't do it. She's too slow, trying to say she don't move in a timely manner. She's not doing them in a timely manner, but you ain't got no person in that position to do it. Because if you did, you would have a name. If you didn't want to let her know, but you still have a name in your report. Somewhere should be some hiring papers. If you hired somebody or somebody else in the in office took the position, or you hired it outsourced. It doesn't matter. It should be a name of that person. And for it not to be a name given, he don't give a name. She don't, nobody knows who was doing it. Yo, take this. This woman and everybody that was doing that and being compliant with that, they don't, oh no, you don't get a slap on the wrist for this because you're doing the same thing. Criminal activity. Oh, Lord, let me calm down.
Pending FOIA requests, and there was no process put in place for transitioning of the responsibilities from Clerk Key and her team to the unknown new FOIA officer. There's plenty of evidence, and again, I think you all have experienced it firsthand, that after Clerk Key was removed of her responsibilities over FOIA, the FOIA process didn't get better. If anything, it got worse. And these issues continue to this day. Now, let's shift gears.
So still, there's nobody, because you don't know who's doing it, but it didn't get any better, it got worse. So what she was doing wasn't fast enough, you so claim. efficient enough, so claim. So she had to be relieved of her duties because y'all gonna pass that on to somebody else, somebody that nobody got a name for, somebody that don't know who it is. Y'all give me a break. Give me a break. I'm trying, but give me a break.
And we're going to talk about financial management concerns. There was an opportunity for the village of Dolton to take advantage of a $5 million appropriation that had been put in place from one of the state legislatures on behalf of the village of Dolton. This was in the state fiscal year 2023. However, that appropriation, for some reason that we were not able to ascertain, was never taken advantage of, meaning those monies never came into the village of Dolton. So $5 million that could have significantly helped the financial fortunes of this village got recycled and went elsewhere, but never came to the village of Dolton. I want to talk to you next about the American Rescue Plan dollars and funding that came to the village of Dolton. As many of you know, the American Rescue Plan was put into place by the Biden-Harris administration to help municipalities, cities, counties, states recover from the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. And the village received an allocation through the state, which is appropriated in 2 tranches from the Illinois Comptroller's Office. And you can see in this chart, the first tranche came in September of 2021, and the next big tranche came again in September of 22 for a total of just over $3 million. The U.S. Treasury Department had very strict reporting designated as the ARPA reporting person responsible for making sure that they were complying with U.S. Treasury regulations. But contemporaneous documentation that we have seen and confirmed in recent communications is that no one from the village actually took the responsibility to complete the reporting information. The access to the reporting portal was set up for Ms. Miller, the former finance director, but there's no evidence that she actually made the required reporting of how ARPA dollars were used here in the village. And based on the records that we have seen, there's approximately $1.7 million left of the ARPA funds, and it's held in a specific capital projects account. Based on what we've seen in the financial documents, the ARPA funds were used in a variety of ways, as you can see from this chart. As you noted, there's a big category of $481,379 called other expenses. This was used for a variety of different things, from construction materials and supplies, lawn care, pest control, utilities, sprinkler installation, but none of these things were specifically approved by the board. Now, at this time, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Amanda Kite, who's going to walk you through some more detailed information on the financial status as of October 31st, 2024.
So now we're going to walk through and largely provide an update to the financial information that was presented back in August. And we've been provided records that cover the first 6 months of the village's fiscal year 2025. As of October 2024, the village's general fund, which is the fund that's used to account for the majority of the village's operations, remains in a net deficit position. However,
the deficit position has decreased or improved from the information that was presented in August. And as of October 2024, the general fund's net deficit position is currently $2.4 million. Additionally, during the first 6 months of fiscal year 2025, the average monthly expenditures of the village have also decreased. Through fiscal year 2024, the village was spending on average $2.5 million per month. During the first 6 months of fiscal year 2025, that number is down to $2.1 million per month on average. Following along with that,
Can I just interrupt you? I think it's also important to note that when we provided an update back in August of last year, which laid out many of these numbers and showed the village in really dire financial condition, the trustees immediately took action to address particularly the spending side of leisure, significantly reducing the number of credit cards, credit card access, working with banks, restructuring some of the expenses. So that accounts in part for the reduction in expenses. And as Mando explained, there are other factors that contributed to this, but I wanted to note that the trustees heeded the concerns that we raised back in August and took specific action, many times in opposition from Mayor Henyard, to make sure that they were starting the process of putting the village back on better financial footing.
so following along with that, the decrease in expenditures, through the first 6 months of fiscal year 2025, the village's expenditures have matched the revenues that came in during that time period. This is in comparison with the same time period in fiscal year 2024, where the gap in revenue to expenditures was almost $5 million. So the expenditure and revenue gap has improved. This gap decrease is for two primary reasons. First being, as of October fiscal 2025, revenues are approximately $3 million more than compared to the same time period in fiscal year 2024, which is largely due to the timing of when the property taxes were released to the village. In 2023 and 2024, property taxes weren't released until November or December, where in fiscal 2025, they were released much earlier. But additionally, expenditures have gone down, most notably general administration, police department expenditures, and public works. A couple of categories that we police department overtime and medical insurance. The village's cash balance has remained generally the same since the information that was presented in August. As you can see from the chart, as of May 2024, the general fund had an unrestricted cash deficit of almost 5.7 million. As of October 24, that amount is a deficit of around 5.5 million. And this deficit includes the amount of held checks that the mayor discussed previously. Those are reflected in these deficit balances. Regarding those held checks, as we presented in August, since March of 2023 and nearly every month since then, a portion of the checks that were approved and printed have had to be held. As of June 18th, 2024, this was 589 checks that totaled over $6 million, which were approved but had not yet been sent to vendors. Since the August presentation, we've requested but had not been provided an updated listing of the current status of the village's held checks. However, we've been told, though not able to verify, that the current amount is still in excess of $5 million. Turning now to discuss the village's use of credit cards. As we discussed in the August presentation, we're aware of 6 different credit cards that have been in use by the village at various points in time from January 2021 through at least June of 2024. Since the August presentation, we did request updated credit card statements that would cover July 2024 through December 2024, but we did not receive any updated credit card records. As you can see from the chart, the use of credit cards steadily increased from calendar year 2021 through 2023. In 2023, the village spent over $775,000 on credit cards. As the mayor earlier discussed, oftentimes credit card expenditures have no accompanying receipts. And the credit card statements alone provide limited information about the credit card purchases. Given this overall lack of available documentation, it is not possible for us to ascertain important information about the village's credit card use, such as who made the purchase, was it an approved purchase, and what was the government purpose. This type of additional information is necessary to perform a complete investigation of the credit card use and to draw any conclusion about any individual purchase. That being said, through our investigation, we did identify certain categories of expenses that stand out, which the village may wish to pursue additional information to further understand the nature of the charges. For example, from 2021 through June of 2024, village credit cards were used for over $171,000 in travel-related costs. Things such as airfare, excess baggage fees, hotels, meals, rental cars. There are over $51,000 spent at local area restaurants, as well as expenditures at retailers such as Dick's Sporting Goods, Best Buy, Wayfair, Walgreens, Apple, and Walmart. Now, some of these expenditures, but not all, are reflected on the electronic warrant lists that we were provided and reviewed. However, the level of detail in the description of what the purchase is for varies by purchase. Some purchases have very limited information, and the description is simply the name of the merchant, or a more vague description such as meals or donuts. Others provide more information, such as training accommodations or code enforcement lunch. One area in our investigation where we were able to obtain detailed purchase information relates to Amazon purchases. The vast majority of purchases made by the village on Amazon were paid for with village credit cards. From January 2021 through June of 2024, the village spent approximately $218,000 on purchase from Amazon using village credit cards, the largest spending of which occurred in 2023. Now, the vast majority of the purchases on Amazon do appear to be for routine items such as office supplies, office furniture, and supplies for the police department. And the Amazon order details show that these orders were delivered either to Village Hall or to the police department. Additionally, many of the largest purchases on Amazon, 3 of which we identified in the August presentation, were related to materials or supplies for the skating rink. This includes $5,099 for artificial ice tiles, $33,000 for artificial ice tiles, $5,600 artificial ice tiles, $4,700 artificial ice tiles, and then $3,700 for ice skates.
No. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just pick up and conclude on the Amazon purchases. The various routine office supply and office furniture purchases simply do not appear to be in compliance with the village's purchasing policy as we described. There appears to be no centralized purchasing or inventory control as required in the purchasing policy. So while we were able to see that these various purchases were delivered either to Village Hall or to the police department, there is no tracking system for what happened to them after they arrived here. And while Janice Johnson was listed as the originator for a number of these purchases, what we saw in the Amazon records is that there were 9 other purchasing sources identified in the Amazon records. So lots of people were billing, charging things and purchasing them from Amazon. And we similarly found no evidence that the purchases related to the ice rink that were done in 5 separate purchases totaling approximately $48,000, that they were done consistent with the purchasing policy either. For example, we were unable to find evidence that these purchases were done as a result of a competitive bidding process, which an amount of that size would have been triggered by the purchasing policy, nor is there evidence that these particular purchases were presented to the board prior to approval. As you will see, one of the recommendations that we're making to the board is to institute a written policy for performing background checks of prospective village senior and key personnel. There are 3 personnel that we call out on this slide, and based on our investigation, these and other individuals either working for the village or proposed by Mayor Henyard to assume key roles have issues in their background that likely would be disqualifying if they had been properly vetted. Now, I want to go through some of the consequences, because of course there has been consequences of all the things that we've already talked about. You can't have a situation where there are no financial controls, where the trustees are systematically excluded from finding out the true nature of the financial condition of the village, where there's a routine process of exceeding the amounts of revenue with expenses, some of which may or may not be for a legitimate government purpose. The first of these cascading consequences is the audit. As I noted at the beginning of this presentation, under Illinois law, every municipality over a certain size is required to have a financial audit of its books and records every single year, and to produce that audit to the comptroller's office. The fact of the matter is that for the last several years, the village's auditor had been an accounting firm, an auditing firm known as Lauterbach and Amann. Draft audits for fiscal year 2022 were completed, but they were never finalized. And then Lauterbach and Amann resigned as auditor on October 27, 2024, effective immediately, which is essentially less than 3 weeks after we had our first public disclosure of the true financial condition of the village. And on October 15, 2024, the Illinois Comptroller's Office notified the village that it was going to force an audit on the village for not complying with a mandatory audit reporting requirement. Now, as I noted, there are literally hundreds of municipalities across this state that have long-standing delinquencies in filing their reports. But for some reason, the comptroller decided that Dolton was going to be the example. Next slide. An uptick in litigation. According to court records maintained by the Legislative Council, 48 separate lawsuits have been filed against the village under Mayor Henyard's tenure. 12 pending matters relate to FOIA violations, and 8 pending matters by village vendors allege improper revocation or failure to renew business licenses. And you may have seen recent reporting that on Friday, Mayor Henyard herself was held in criminal contempt for failing to sign a liquor license for an existing business owner here in the village, despite being ordered by the court to do so multiple times. Those have costs. Next, I want to walk you through the insurance issue, because insurance is a significant cost in the budget for the village of Dolton. The village's insurance needs are primarily handled by 2 entities: an insurance broker, which is Insurer Source LLC, and something called a third-party administrator, which currently is Charles Taylor, TPA. In 2024, the village's insurance coverage became at risk due to late or non-payment of fees. The village's premium financing company sought to avoid its contract with the village. And let me explain what that means. There is a finance company that fronts the money for the village's various insurance costs, and the village pays it back on a monthly basis. But because of non-payment, that finance company walked away from its responsibilities and said, we're not going to we're not going to finance any future funds to the village to pay its insurance. That created a bit of a crisis. The village's longtime third-party administrator, that's the entity that then pays claims that are made by people that trigger the insurance policies. That third-party administrator also walked away and refused to renew its agreement with the village, again, as a result of problems in payment. And then longtime insurance carriers. The village had, like most municipalities, has multiple insurance carriers that cover their insurance, particularly liability insurance. Many of those longtime carriers canceled in the spring of 2024 or declined to renew the village's policies. Next slide. Now, this came at a critical time. The renewal period for village insurance is early August of every year. Typically 60 days before that time, the insurance broker will start negotiating, renewing terms of coverage with the various insurers. You have the TPA walk away, which is known to the insurance companies covering the village. You have the finance company walk away, which is known to the village. And the fact that these other carriers decided not to renew, that also sent a ripple through the insurance market. As a result of the efforts of the insurance broker, he reached out to 36 different insurers, including 10 excess insurers and then 26 non-excess carriers. 5 carriers chose not to renew their coverage for the village. 13 carriers declined to quote coverage for the village, meaning they weren't even interested in providing a quote. And 1 carrier simply didn't respond. And of the excess carriers who provided a quote, they set their threshold for coverage very, very high. 2 set it at 25 million, 4 set it at 10, and 2 at 5, and 1 declined again to quote any coverage. Now, the village was eventually able to obtain coverage for the 2024-25 period. However, there were 2 important concessions that the village was compelled to make in order to make sure that it had insurance coverage from August of 2024 to August of 2025. As you can see from this slide, the village was compelled to pay more for less coverage. We have here a kind of side-by-side comparison of what the coverage was under general liability, law enforcement, public official, and auto liability. In the preceding year, the coverages were almost equal at $11 million. But as you can see, in the current coverage period, there's a significant decrease in the amount of insurance coverage that the village now has to handle whatever liability issues may come up. The other significant concession was that the insurance carriers refused to cover Mayor Henyard.
What?
As you can see in the third bullet, there's a
Refused to cover her.
quote from the insurance policy.
Oh my God.
The insurer covers all elected officials, provides that as a separate part of its coverage, but specifically in writing
Regarding Mayor Henyard.
on any claim made against any insured which is brought by, on behalf of, or against the following entities or individuals, and that is Tiffany Henyard.
Yeah.
And the emphasis here was in the original. This coverage exclusion regarding Mayor Henyard also applied not only to the general liability policy, but also the law enforcement policy.
Oh my God, I never.
For the village given the cancellation of coverage for Mayor Henyard during this coverage period. Mayor Henyard will have to pay for all defensive costs related to her out of pocket, or the village could decide on its own to pay for her coverage, but it won't be covered by the insurance carriers. Now, Mayor Henyard would then be responsible for any judgments, settlements, or attorney's fees rendered against her personally, separate from the village.
Ooh.
There's an open question as to whether or not Mayor Henyard will participate in litigation that she has to pay
She don't need
for
to be
herself,
sued.
and what that would mean for the village if she simply defaults, meaning doesn't show up, doesn't participate in ongoing litigation. So the absence of coverage has significant implications for the village and for the taxpayers of the village of Dolton. Other implications, the fire department. After 2 years with no resolution of a contract, finally in the fall of 2024, Legislative Council was able to reach a collective bargaining agreement with the fire department union, which a majority of the board approved over Mayor Henyard's objections. The village is currently in negotiations with the police department, but the challenge with that, negotiating that contract, is without audited financial statements. And remember, we said there's been no audit of the financial statements since fiscal year 2021. It's difficult for village negotiators to be able to project what revenues are going to be coming in so they know what a fair salary and compensation would be. Now, as we're winding down here, I want to cover quickly some other remaining items that I know are of interest to the public. And let's talk for a minute about the Las Vegas trips and the allegations against Trustee Holmes. There are actually 2 trips, one in May 22 and another in May 2023, where Mayor Henyard and a large delegation went to an economic development convention in Las Vegas. The convention was called Recon, and that was put on by the International Council of Shopping Centers. Financial records from the village and Thornton Township reflect that a number of people traveled to Las Vegas on both of these trips, and the expenses of their travel, their lodging, their meals, and entertainment were paid for on village and township credit cards. There is no evidence that any business development opportunities came to the village as a result of either of these 2 trips. You are all aware of the fact that there were allegations against Trustee Holmes as a result of contacts between him and a former village employee on the May 2023 Las Vegas trip. We're not going to go into chapter and verse on this because we are not a criminal investigative authority, but suffice it to say, the allegations are that Holmes took advantage and assaulted a young woman while she was unconscious in his hotel room, that he contacted a village Dolton police officer who was also on the trip, FaceTimed him, showing the young woman unconscious on the hotel room, and some of you are aware that a recording of that FaceTime call has recently surfaced. The young woman eventually filed complaints in Las Vegas and suburban Cook County. Fall of last year, the Las Vegas criminal authorities closed its case after its investigation. The young woman has also filed a complaint with the EOC alleging that she was wrongfully terminated from her employment as a result of making an outcry to Mayor Henyard directly about the alleged assault. And the young woman has subsequently filed a lawsuit which makes similar allegations, and that lawsuit remains pending. Importantly, neither the young woman, Trustee Holmes, or other witnesses cooperated with our investigation. Another thing that I think is important regarding this alleged incident between Trustee Holmes and this young woman. Working through the Delgado law firm, we learned that Mayor Henyard authorized an investigation to be conducted by a firm called R.E. Walsh and Associates out of Oak Brook, Illinois. This investigation was not authorized by the board and the results have not been shared with the board. It is unknown to this day what the scope of the investigation was, who was interviewed, if anyone, what documents were reviewed as part of this investigation or its findings. The R.E. Walsh firm has refused to provide its report or otherwise answer any questions about its investigation because it's not been paid for its services. Let's talk for a moment about Thornton Township. In the course of our investigation, we received a lot of information that there was significant use of Thornton Township funds to cover expenses for the benefit of the village of Dolton. Similar to the lack of cooperation from the village personnel under the control of Mayor Supervisor Henyard, we faced obstacles obtaining documents from Thornton Township. We therefore are not suggesting, we do not have a complete picture of a variety of the allegations against Mayor Henyard and others in connection with the operation of the township. Nonetheless, we received some information to determine that a similar pattern of financial operations existed at the township during Mayor Henyard's tenure. For example, credit card use. We were able to review records from May of 22 through October of 22, June of 23 through, January of 23 through June of 23, and January of 24 through June of 24. Obviously, not a complete set, but detailed records. Some of these records, excuse me, were heavily redacted. They look like the CIA put the documents through their censors. So it made analysis somewhat difficult, but we were able to decipher some of the records. There were multiple credit cards in use in Thornton Township, in the names of township employees specifically, such as Tony Sherman, Keith Freeman, Shelley Miles, Robert Hunt, Marsha Walker Brown, Tanika Hughes, William Moore, and others. In 2024, for example, based on those 6 months of records, monthly charges range from $88,000 a month to over $100,000 in many of those months. And there were a significant number of food purchases and other expenditures that frankly warrant further investigation as to whether or not there was a legitimate government purpose for those expenses.
Ain't got nobody looking into nothing, that's why.
There was overlapping hiring and firing of township personnel. A number of witnesses that we interviewed indicated that within months of Tiffany Henyard becoming supervisor on March 3rd, 2022, a number of longstanding employees lost their jobs. We heard many allegations about political retaliation, cronyism, and that people were let go because they questioned the seeming elimination of hiring and purchasing norms. Efforts to verify these allegations, principally through FOIA requests, did not bear fruit, as the township often claimed no responsive documents or failed to address specific FOIAs. We know that Henyard hired her boyfriend, Kamal Woods, to run a township youth program. His personnel file, such as it is, contained very little information to justify this hire. Tamika Henyard also became an employee of the township. And Henyard installed her former administrative assistant, Carmen Carlisle, to fill a vacancy left by the death of a long-standing trustee. We received information of various allegations of political retaliation. You are all, by this point, well aware of Henyard's treatment of Township Assessor Cassandra Elston that included locking Elston out of township offices and then later accusing Elston of abandoning her job. All of those things is well documented. We won't go into details. We were able to verify that longtime township employee Dwayne Thrash has alleged in a lawsuit that he was fired from his job, not because of competence or insubordination issues, as were later put into his personnel file, but because he refused efforts by Henyard and Freeman to agree to a plan to effectively let Henyard take control of a local suburban school district on which Thrash was one of 3 members. The alleged plan included creating a paid employee role for Henyard, firing other employees, and terminating the relationship with an existing law firm and instead installing Henyard's chosen law firm. Can you guess? The Delgado firm. Thrash alleges that he would not agree to the plan and subsequently lost his Thornton Township employment in retaliation. Now, we have a number of recommendations that we are making to the trustees. I'm not going to spend time tonight going through those. The trustees have them, but suffice it to say, there are obvious things related to finance. There are obvious things related to personnel. And some of these things, as I indicated, the trustees have already started to embrace and implement, particularly with respect to putting guardrails around the finances of the village. And with that, we will close. Thank you for your time and attention. Now, as I said at the outset, we have passed out index cards. If you have questions written on them, pass them forward, and we will entertain some questions. Can members of the Park District staff perhaps help us collect some of these cards and bring them forward? If you have a card, hold it up in the air, and somebody will come by.
That was
Maybe
packed
pass
out.
them forward to the front. That's probably the easiest.
A lot of people there. You should be there.
And remember, if you'd like an electronic copy of this PowerPoint deck, please make sure you provide your name and your email address.
Electronic copy of it. That is
If you've
sad.
got questions, please pass up your index card. We'll try to get to as many as we possibly can.
This is sad, guys. That she did all of this. And everybody videoing.
All right, we have a couple of questions. One is, why didn't the $5 million come to Dolton? The answer is we don't know. What happens is monies get appropriated and become part of a budget. It will go to the relevant state department for allocation, but then the municipality has to fill out certain paperwork in order for it to claim that allocation. We have not found any evidence that that happened.
Oh my
with the village.
God.
This person also asked, is there anything to hold Tiffany personally liable?
He ain't got no
Well,
paperwork
as you
for
know,
that.
there are a number of different lawsuits that have been filed, and obviously you have your vote. Next question is, if supervisor is uninsurable, how can she hold a position? Now, the insurance issue is with respect to her role as the mayor of the village of Dolton. We have no visibility into whether or not the insurance issue also applies to the township, but she can still hold her position. But as I indicated, with no lack of insurance coverage, it puts the village and the taxpayers potentially at risk. And certainly she would have to pay for her own lawyer, her own defense, if she is sued in the course of her duties. There's a question of who pays the services that are rendered by my colleague and I. As you recall, the trustees voted to approve the hiring of us, and that comes from the village of Dolton. Are you bringing me one more question, ma'am? Come on up.
Village of Dolton.
Okay, that's right. Okay.
She done screwed it up. She have screwed that financing up. She just robbed it. She didn't screw it up. She was.
There's a question that whether the village will be able to get federal or state funding to bail us out of this mess. And the answer is, I think that's a matter that the trustees are actively pursuing.
Okay.
There's a question, have all of your findings been given to the FBI and any agency concerned? Maybe we all turn and wave to our friends in the federal government who are surely watching this.
Just wave to her. Just wave.
What I will say is we have been in contact with members of the U.S. Attorney's Office who are investigating this matter. I know that the FBI has also been in contact with various people who have information about the allegations that are here, what they intend to do and the timing of that. No one really knows except for them. I just sort through and see if there are any other questions. Someone asked, the $5 million grant, was it mismanagement or theft that we did not get it? As I mentioned before, there's a process by which a municipality that gets an appropriation has to claim it. There's no evidence that that process was followed.
Somebody got it. What happened?
There's a question of when can vendors expect past due payments to be handled? I'm aware that the trustees are working diligently to try to work through the number of vendors who are owed goods and resources, but recognizing that village resources are tight. There's a question of how much money is owed to credit cards. I think we covered some of that in our report. The trustees have substantially cut down access to credit cards, so we expect credit card spending to go down. Most of the payments were made and the balances paid in total at the time that they were incurred. And there's a second question, is Tiffany going to be held responsible to repay the money spent on the ice rink? That's a very good question to which we don't have the answer. Okay, all right, we've got final 3 questions. All right, actually, final question. The others were request to get a copy of the PowerPoint deck. How many laws have been broken? Good question, but impossible.
How many laws have been broken?
Thank you all. Thank you all for your time and attention.
As many as you can break.
Okay, we want to thank everybody for coming out, and on behalf of the Dolton residents, board of trustees, we want to ask everybody to give a round of applause to Mayor Lightfoot for her hard work.
Okay, guys, that is the end of that. So now you all got a full view of this. Oh, that's my alarm going off. You all got a full view of that. Okay, that's what I've been looking for all night, was a full view, and it was telling. It was telling. So if you want to, you can go back and look over it again, and everything. Go back. My hand has been hurting since I've been here. You can go back and look over it again, guys. It will be down in my description box, the information. That was that full coverage of that detailed findings from the investigation onto Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard was by ABC 7 Chicago. So if you want to go and look at the full report, you can go down. I have all the information down in my description box, so you can go back and look at it. Gosh, that was telling. And And I do want to say, let me just stop sharing this. Let me just say this. That was a lot, but we needed to hear that. And there was things I didn't even know. The oversight is terrible. I'm trying to put this on my hand right quick. It's terrible. Who's watching the hand? Nobody. Is that how you say who's watching the hand? I don't know. But guys, make sure y'all watch this. I do want to thank you all for being here, coming to the Pink House to watch this. And thank you. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you click on that like button, okay? Because I need this to stay in the algorithm, okay? Subscribe to my channel, both of them, Pinkie the Housewife and Pink Global. I do want to thank you all for being here. I really do. I do want to thank you. Now I'm gonna send you all out with watch the hen. Just because she's a cute hen clucking around, all that ain't hers. So when you see her coming, hide your money. Don't give her your credit card. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay, guys. Thank you all. Thank you all. Okay, for being here. Thank you. This was a lot. I really do. So I'm going to go ahead and let this take us out. All right. I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't